Harper Audio presents Lovers at the Chameleon Club, Paris, 1932, by Francine Prose. Performed by Rosalind Ashford, Edoardo Ballerini, Nicola Barber, Geoffrey Cantor, Maggie-Meg and Suzanne Toren.
Between the wolf in the tall grass and the wolf in the tall story, there is a shimmering go-between. Vladimir Nabokov. Part 1. Paris, May 14th, 1924. Dear parents, last night I visited a club in Montparnasse where the men dress as women and the women as men. Papa would have loved it, and Mama's face would have crinkled in that special smile she has for Papa's passion for everything French. The place is called the Chameleon Club. It's a few steps down from the street. You need a password to get in. The password is, "Police, open up!" The customers find it amusing. A bar, a stage, a dance floor, leather banquettes, tables around the edges. A typical Paris nightclub, except for the clientele. But here's the most surprising thing. The owner is Hungarian. She calls herself Yvonne. She's tall and blonde and dresses in red and has a weakness for sailors. She sings in that husky voice Papa adores, subdued and choked with tears. When she sang, I heard Papa's phonograph, muffled and locked in his study. Yvonne's song was about a woman whose sailor boyfriend has drowned at sea. I'd never heard a sadder song, not even from the gypsies. Yvonne sang with her eyes closed, one hand raking her hair. In her other hand, pressed to her forehead, she held an unlit cigarette. She sang, I will never see him again. Never, never again. A mournful arpeggio rippled from the out-of-tune piano, while the tenor saxophone looped circles around the voice. The other musicians put down their instruments and sat back, watching Yvonne. It's over, she sang. All over. I felt clammy and chilled to the bone, though the club was smoky and hot. I reached for my camera, the way as a boy I used to reach for your hands. But I'd left it in my room. I was hoping to make a few friends before I asked to take pictures of bankers and diplomats whose wives might not know that their husbands go out dancing in high heels and dresses. Even after a year in Paris, it took some getting used to. The hardest part was not staring. Or was I supposed to stare? Photographing these birds of paradise will be a challenge, don't you think? I was trying to communicate, with nothing so obvious as a smile, but let's say a smile of the eyes, my admiration for the chic of women in tuxedos escorting women in evening gowns, as if these glorious peacocks cared what a penniless Hungarian artist thought of their fashion choices. Even Papa admits that the French have always had mixed feelings about anyone who hasn't lived in France since the Neanderthal era, though here in Montparnasse they like anything exotic. By the time Yvonne finished the second verse, everyone was in love with her. I completely forgot myself and wept along with the rest. The ocean knew where her sailor was. We have seen him, said the waves. He is sleeping with us. You will never kiss his lips or feel the weight of his body again. Uncoiling from the knot into which the song had tied her, Yvonne stood and opened her arms. The audience exploded. She lit her cigarette, blew a long plume of smoke, and welcomed the crowd to her home, which she told them to think of as their home, a place where they could feel free.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?